Leo, July 18th. Healing starts here, but the past still tugs at your heart. 5 of Cups reversed. I'm seeing the grip finally loosen. You stopped staring at the same loss, and that matters. You deleted the old thread. You muted the chat. You quit checking the thing that kept reopening the wound. That is recovery, even if it still feels tender. 5 of Cups reversed. This card is about emotional reset, and it is not asking you to pretend nothing happened. It is asking you to notice what remains. The support is still there, the one person who kept reaching out, the routine you kept, the part of you that still gets up and moves. You knew this already, but grief has been trying to make you forget what survived. Don't cling to the replay. Don't sit in the late night spiral and call it reflection. Let me rephrase that. 5 of Cups reversed is not clean closure. It is the first breath after the ache. It is the moment you stop feeding the wand. If you tried to force yourself to feel better too fast, it would backfire. So don't do that. Let the healing look messy. Let it be slow. Let it be real. Ace of Cups reversed. This reversal is showing blocked flow. You want love, but you keep putting the cup back down. You answer the text in your head, not on the phone. You cry in private and wipe your face before anybody sees. You give, then wonder why you feel empty after. That is not a mystery. That is depletion. Ace of Cups reversed. I'm seeing a heart that shut the door before the knock even finished. You are not empty because you lack feeling. You are empty because you have been holding everything in. Actually, no, let me be precise. This is not about being cold. This is about self-protection that stayed too long. Name what is blocked. Say it out loud if you have to. I am tired. I do not trust this yet. I want closeness, but I need space. That is how the flow starts moving again. The High Priestess, quietly, the truth is already in your body. You felt something was off before proof showed up. You read the tone. You caught the pause. You noticed the delay in the reply, the shift in the energy, the way somebody's words did not match their pattern. That's the High Priestess, not loud, not performative, just accurate. The High Priestess, this card is telling you to observe before you act. Don't rush to explain away the signal. Don't force a confession out of a situation that is still revealing itself. Because the silence is saying more than the speech. Your intuition is not asking for a courtroom. It is asking for discernment. Listen beneath the words. Watch what repeats. Watch what disappears. And here's the thread tying all of it together. 5 of Cups reversed is the healing beginning. Ace of Cups reversed is the heart still guarded. The High Priestess is the inner knowing that can tell the difference between real recovery and emotional shutdown. So today, Leo, do not mistake numbness for peace. Do not call distance wisdom if your body is still warning you. Slow down, notice what remains, trust what you already felt. Leo, July 18th, because this is not a clean break yet. This is the part where you stop bleeding in secret, but you still check the wand. 5 of Cups reversed. This card is about emotional recovery, and reversed means the grief is loosening its grip. You finally deleted the old thread. You stopped rereading the messages at 2 a.m. You looked up and noticed somebody was still there, still offering help, still standing close enough to matter. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. 5 of Cups reversed is not asking you to pretend it never hurt. It is asking you to stop feeding the loop. Stop replaying the same loss like it is sacred. You already know what broke. Now notice what stayed. Six of Cups reversed. This card is about nostalgia, and reverse means the past is getting too loud. You are not missing the person. You are missing the feeling you attach to them. You are looking at old photos, old texts, old habits, and calling it comfort. Don't lie to yourself. Familiar is not the same as safe. 6 of Cups reversed shows the pattern repeating, the same childhood wound. The same conversation. The same urge to go back because it feels easier than starting clean. You did not outgrow it by naming it cute. You outgrow it by not returning. Ace of Cups reversed. This card is about blocked emotional flow, and reversed means the heart is shut down on purpose. You are giving everybody the dry version of you. You smile, you answer, you keep moving, but you are not letting anybody in. I'm seeing that clearly. Maybe you cried in the shower and wiped your face before anyone heard. Maybe you kept saying you're fine while your chest stayed tight all day. Ace of Cups reverse says the overflow is there, but you are holding the lid down. Do not confuse that with healing. That is self-protection. Different thing. You need space to feel without dumping everything at once. The High Priestess, this card is quiet, and that matters. The High Priestess is the part of you that already knows before the proof shows up. You feel it in your body first. The text sounds off. The timing feels wrong. The room changes when somebody walks in. You already clock it. Because this is important. The High Priestess is not telling you to chase answers. She is telling you to sit still long enough to hear the truth underneath the noise. Read between the lines. Watch the pause. Watch what is not being said, but do not turn mystery into an excuse. If you know, If your body said no, listen. So for Leo, this moment is recovery with a warning label. You are healing, but you cannot heal by going back. You are intuitive, but you cannot use intuition to avoid clarity. You are softening, but you are not fully open yet, and that is okay. The work is simple. Stop reopening what already closed. Stop calling memory a map. And when the truth whispers, answer it. Leo, July 18th. I'm seeing the emotional pattern tighten before it breaks. Five of Cups reversed. This card is about emotional recovery, and the grip is finally loosening. You stop replaying the same hurt on loop. You deleted the thread, you muted the chat. You looked at what was left standing, not just what fell apart. That matters, but do not rush it. Five of Cups reversed can look like healing when it is really just numbness wearing a clean shirt. Actually, no, the real move is simpler. You admit what hurt and you stop feeding it every night. Six of Cups reversed. This card is where the past starts calling too loudly. Six of Cups reversed is nostalgia with bad memory in it. You are not remembering the whole story. You are remembering the soft parts, the familiar parts, the parts that make you want to go back. Maybe you opened an old photo album at midnight. Maybe you said, wasn't that bad. Maybe you reached for someone because it felt known. Familiar is not the same as safe. This card says the old script is still alive and you keep trying to read it like it's a new page. Page of Cups. This card brings the soft message, the little feeling, the text you almost sent, the apology that surprised you, the gut hit before the facts lined up. That matters. Page of Cups is not loud, it comes in small. A glance, a dream. A sentence that lands in your body before your mind catches up. You are being asked to stay open long enough to notice it. Not to over control it, not to mock it, just to let the feeling arrive. Your heart has been trying to speak through the noise. Ace of Cups reversed. This card shows the blockage. The heart wants to move, but something is holding the gate shut. You keep giving, then going empty. You want closeness, then you pull the door closed. You cry where nobody can see it. You say you are fine, then you feel drained for the rest of the day. Ace of Cups reversed is not asking you to force love. It is asking you to name where the flow stopped. Because if you keep calling that self-protection healing, you will stay dry and call it strength. Let me rephrase that. If you keep sealing everything off, nothing new gets in. The High Priestess. This card knows the truth before the proof shows up. The high priestess is the quiet knowing in your body. The pause before you answer. The way your stomach drops when something is off. You do not need to chase every detail right now. You need to listen beneath the words, read the room, read the silence, read what keeps repeating, but do not use mystery to avoid clarity. The high priestess is not confusion. She is discernment. She says, sit still long enough to hear what you already know. So the moment is this, you are healing, but the past keeps trying to pull you backward. The heart is still guarded. The signal is still there. And the next move is not to romanticize what hurt. It is to trust the quiet truth and let the old pattern die where it stands. Leo, July 18th. Five of Cups reversed. I'm seeing the grief finally loosen its grip here. You stopped rereading the same old pain. You deleted the thread, or you wanted to. You looked up and realized there was still support in the room. This is healing, but not the fake kind, not forcing a smile, just admitting what hurt, then letting it lose power. Six of Cups reversed. This is the past trying to pull you back in by memory, not by truth. You keep checking the old picture. You keep hearing the old version of the story. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. You are noticing how familiar can feel safer than it is. But familiar is not the same as good. This card says, stop feeding the loop. Stop going back to what already showed you who it was. Page of Cups, a softer message is trying to get through, a text, a feeling. A weird little gut hit that makes no sense yet. I'm seeing you almost delete the message before you send it. Or somebody else almost says what they mean, then finally does. Page of Cups is vulnerability showing up before the logic does. So don't mock it. Don't shut the door because it feels tender. Follow the small signal. The Hanged Man, pause. That's the move, not chase, not force. Pause. You are being asked to sit with the unanswered thing instead of running after it. This is important. The delay is not nothing. The delay is the message. It shows you what cannot be rushed and what has to be seen from another angle. If you keep pushing, you miss the point. If you sit still, the point lands. Ace of Cups, reverse. The heart is not empty because it has no feeling. It's blocked because too much has been held in. You keep giving, then closing. Crying, then hiding it. Wanting love, then locking the door. That is not healing yet. That is protection that has gone too far. This card asks for a reset in how you receive, not more pressure. More space. The High Priestess, and here is the quiet truth under all of it. You already know what is off. You felt it before anyone said a word. You read the room. You read the pause. You read the silence between messages. The High Priestess is telling you to trust that knowing. Not the noise, not the story you wish were true. the quiet one, the one in your body, the one that doesn't need proof to be real. So the moment turns here. Intuition reveals what must be paused and released. Not everything needs another conversation. Not everything needs another look back. Some things need to be felt, named, and left alone. And once you stop forcing it, the emotional recovery starts moving on its own. This starts with the heart finally unclenching. Five of Cups reversed. You stopped staring at what spilled and started noticing what is still standing. I'm seeing you delete the old thread, not because you forgot, because you got tired of reopening the wound every night. That is the shift here. Recovery is not pretty. It is practical. You answer the text less. You stop checking the page. You let the grief loosen without pretending it never mattered. Six of Cups reversed. The past is still trying to pull you by the sleeve, but it is not telling the truth cleanly. You keep remembering the soft parts and skipping the parts that hurt. That matters. You are not being asked to hate the past. You are being asked to stop living inside its script. Maybe you opened the old photo album, maybe you heard one name, and your body went right back to being 15. Actually, no, this is where the pattern shows itself. Familiar does not mean safe. Page of Cups. A tender message is trying to get through. It may come as a feeling first, then words later. You almost delete the message. You almost talk yourself out of saying it. Don't. This moment wants softness, but not fantasy. It wants honesty. A small apology, a real check-in, a quiet admission that you still care. I'm seeing the moment where you notice the gut feeling before you can explain it. That is not random. That is the opening. The Hanged Man. And then everything slows down on purpose. You do not force the answer. You sit with the unanswered text. You stop pressing for a reaction. Let me rephrase that. You stop making movement out of panic. This pause is not failure. It is the reveal. The delay shows you what cannot be rushed and what should not be chased. If you keep pulling, you miss the truth. If you stay still, it comes into view. Two of Pentacles. Now you are juggling the real life part. Work, money, time, feelings. All at once, you are trying to keep the day moving while your chest is doing something else entirely. So you adjust, you move money around, you reschedule, you keep the basics alive. That is the assignment, not perfection. Balance. Don't overbook yourself because you are scared to sit with your own thoughts. That kind of business looks stable until it breaks. Ace of Cups reversed. This is where the block becomes obvious. The heart wants to open, but it is tired. You have been pouring out without refilling. You want love, then you shut the door. You want to feel, then you numb it. Stop kidding yourself. That is not healing. That is depletion. Name what is closed. Name what is empty. Then stop demanding overflow from a cup that has not been tended. The High Priestess, and here is the turning point. The answer was never loud. It was in the pause. It was in the body. It was in that quiet knowing that kept tapping your shoulder before proof showed up. You already felt what needed to be released. You already knew what had to be paused. So trust that, not the story, not the memory. The knowing this moment ends when you stop arguing with the signal and let it lead. Leo, July 18th. This is not about more feeling. It is about steadier hands. 5 of Cups, reverse. This reversal is the first turn. You stopped staring at the spill. You finally deleted the old thread. You quit the late night grief spiral. 5 of Cups, reverse, says the grief you thought you were done with still hurts, but it does not own the room anymore. Do not force yourself to act healed before you are. Just notice what is still standing. 6 of Cups reversed. This reversal is where the past that still knows your name tries to talk louder than the present. I'm seeing old memory loops. Old, maybe this time thinking. 6 of Cups reverse says you can miss what was familiar and still know it was not safe. You may catch yourself reopening an old photo album at midnight or thinking about someone because the ache feels recognizable. Actually, no, that is not comfort. That is a pattern asking for another round. You already knew that. The Page of Cups comes in soft. The Page of Cups is the tender message, the gut feeling, the unexpected apology, the soft signal under the noise, the little emotional ping you almost ignore. This card says, stay open long enough to hear what is real. Maybe you write the text and do not send it yet. Maybe you feel something before you can explain it. Good. Let it be small. Let it be honest. Do not mock the softness. That is where the signal lives. The hanged man follows, and the hanged man says, stop pushing. Stop chasing the answer like it owes you something. Hold on. The delay is showing you the shape of the truth. You sit with the unanswered text. You take one step back before you react. The hanged man is not failure. It is perspective. It is the pause that changed the angle and kept you from making a mess just because you hate waiting. 2 of Pentacles is the practical part. 2 of Pentacles says you are juggling more than one thing at once, and you need to stop pretending that business is the balance you keep rebuilding. Work feelings. Money time. Energy, it is all moving. So move with it. Rear to the day. Cut what is fake urgent. Keep the basics alive. Two of Pentacles asks for realistic commitments, not performance. If you overbook yourself now, you will feel it by nightfall. Ace of Cups reversed. This reversal shows the heart that is tired of giving. Ace of Cups reverse says the flow is blocked because you have been pouring from an empty place. You may be crying where nobody can see it. You may want love and also slam the door the second it gets close. That is not healing. That is overload. Name the blockage. Rest the heart. Let feelings move safely instead of forcing a flood. The High Priestess closes the moment. The High Priestess is quiet, but she is not vague. She knows, she reads the room before the room speaks. She feels the truth in the body first. So stop demanding proof before you trust yourself. Listen to what keeps repeating. Notice what your stomach already knows. The High Priestess says the answer is not loud, it is clear. So this moment lands here, emotional recovery first, then balance action guided by inner truth. You do not need to drag the past back into the present to prove it mattered. You do not need to force a feeling that is not ready. Trust the quiet knowing. Move with steadier hands, okay? That's all I've got for now. If this hit, you already know what to do. Please subscribe, tell your group chat. I'll see y'all soon.